Jay Cutler talks, Best ABS in Bodybuilding, Arnold Classic and Nick Walker's New York Showdown. Cutler opened up on a myriad of issues including Walker's jump into the New York Pro, contenders from the Arnold Classic, recovery, and who has the best midsection. Jay Cutler has kept his finger on the sport's pulse since departing from the stage in 2013. In a recent Jay Walking YouTube video, Cutler gave his thoughts on Nick Walker entering the next New York Pro, as well as his opinion of the top contenders at the 2024 Arnold Classic. In addition, he named who he believed to have the best midsection of all time. During his heyday, Jay Cutler amassed 4 Mr. Olympia titles, but what made his tenure so historic was his victory in 2006, when he dethroned the 8-time winning champion, Ronnie Coleman. Their rivalry largely defined bodybuilding in the 2000s, elevating the sport to new and unforeseen heights. Having stepped away from the bright lights for over a decade now, Cutler still follows the sport closely. His opinions hold significant weight considering Cutler remains the only open competitor in history to win back his Olympia title 2009. And with how unpredictable the men's open class has been, he continues to offer his thoughts on the growing division. Jay Cutler discusses Nick Walker's New York Pro entry, previews top contenders for the 2024 Arnold Classic. Considering the prestige of head judge Steve Weinberger's annual New York Pro, Cutler agreed with Walker's decision to enter the contest. Nick Walker is always in great shape, says Cutler. How many weeks away is it Arnold Classic? 4 or 5, 6 weeks. They raised the money at the New York Pro first is 20. It is, right, prestigious. He added that the Night of Champions, the New York Pro's former name, was an essential stop in the 1990s and 2000s for most top-tier bodybuilders. The year I did the Night of Champions or the New York Pro, Ronnie won and Kevin was second. Trying to think who was third, that's the year I tied with Milos that Milos always talks about. He said he got the nod in 11th and I was 12th, which I tend to disagree. I think we were tied at 11th. So I mean that just shows you the caliber, said Jay Cutler. That show was paying 10 grand back then. So, like the top pros still did that show. But remember, it's very limited. Now there is so many pro shows, especially internationally. I know if I was a pro I would want that win under my belt for sure. Looking ahead to the 2024 Arnold Classic, Cutler expressed concern about former Mr. Olympia Hadi Choopan receiving a visa to travel back to the US. As you see, people are having visa issues with the Arnold Classic. We have already seen Neckzilla has dropped out, Andrew has dropped out. Visa issues with Neckzilla. I think Hadi may still be having some issues getting a visa. So if he's out, what does that mean? I mean, who wins? Rafael is coming, there's a lot of Brazilian people competing, so it should be pretty exciting. Cutler names Thierry Pastel for having the best midsection of all time, praises new cold plunge routine. Cutler credited cold plunges for helping with metabolism and mental clarity. They just came and installed it yesterday. Now, you can be cold plunging and help your metabolism. A lot of people benefit from it. It helps with your mental clarity too, it helps a lot. Not only physically but mentally, they say. I meditate in different ways. You know how I meditate? I do stairs, I take mushrooms. I'm taking the mushrooms. As for who had the best midsection, Cutler named Thierry Pastel, a 5'2" bodybuilder from France. What about Thierry Pastel? He had a crazy midsection, dude. He could have had honestly the best midsection of all time. Pretty crazy, people would argue that. Who else guys had crazy midsections like that? I'm just saying for that classic era, you know, said Jay Cutler. It's so different because everyone has all these different theories, and we talk about the heavy duty or even like when I did FST 7 time under tension type stuff. He added that training approaches have changed drastically since the classic era. Think about how little I guess they had the Weider principles. Remember they had the drop sets, like pyramiding, and that kind of stuff. Now, there's so many different terms that it gets really confusing for people on what process they should actually take to build. It's great for trial and error. Everyone should find a rep range and test how their body reacts. My theory, which is different from when I was training for Olympias, right now, do as least as possible for the best result. That's how I would be, to be honest. Despite reaching 50 years old, Cutler's affinity for business and exercise hasn't waned in the slightest. He recently took part in the Shark Tank TV series aiming to close a $50,000 deal for his Jay's Pet Butter brand but fell short of his goal. Nevertheless, the bodybuilder has kept busy with a range of intense workouts, having recently completed a Fit for 50 physique transformation. Cutler's commitment to his craft is unmatched, and his talks of yesteryears are a great treat for fans who never got the opportunity to see him shine as a bodybuilding titan. With the 2024 Arnold Classic approaching, Cutler is looking forward to how the event unfolds.